Hannah. So today's video is going to be all about the series that I have no intention on finishing. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So the first book that I want to talk about today is called the I Am Number 4 series by Pittacus Lore. That's a super cool name. Pittacus sounds amazing. If you read the synopsis on Goodreads, it really sounds so amazing. It's about these 9 people, all have powers, all were sent to train and eventually fight this one evil threat, but this threat has actually started killing them off first. So now they are running. They've got number 1, they've got number 2, they got number 3, and now they're after number 4, which is our main character. It sounds very interesting. This book may be up your alley. It just was not up mine. I thought that it was going to be much better than it was, and I just never had the need to pick it up again. I'm generally somebody who likes to at least read 2 books in a series before I officially call it quits, but I've read this book so long ago, I don't even think I remember the contents of the first book to read the second book. So therefore, I just won't read the series at all. So I'm sorry if you like this series. In fact, I'm sorry if you like any of these series that I'm talking about. It is no hard feelings against you. I just personally did not like them. The next series that I have no intention on finishing is the Match series by Condie. Now, the first book was actually really good and I really liked it. I had high hopes for the second book. I got into the second book, I couldn't even finish it. And that says a lot about the book because I am somebody who I like to finish books even if I don't like it. And again, I like to give the second book a chance, and this was the second book and I was just done with it after that. And I heard that the next book, I think they only have 3 books, but I heard that the third book is even worse. So I was definitely not gonna try that third book out. Basically, in this book, it is about this dystopian world where basically the government tells you who you're going to marry. So the main character gets shown a picture of who she's going to get matched with, and it's her best friend, I think. She gets shown another picture of this other guy, and basically it's about her falling in love with the other guy, not the person that she was actually matched with, and it's just that whole ordeal. The first book, like I said, was really good. The second book, not so much. So the next book that I am no longer gonna finish is Rot and Ruin by Jonathan Maberry. I'm probably not saying the last name right, but it just sounds better that way. Jonathan Maberry. So this book, all I can remember from it is that it was basically about zombies and a zombie apocalypse, and now I am fine with zombies. I am. If you write a good book with zombies in it, I will read it. But this book just was not up my alley. I remember not really liking the plot in it, the setting. I just wasn't into everything about this book, and I didn't even go for the second book, so that's how that book went for me. The next series that I will no longer be picking up is Beautiful Creatures by Garcia. Again, another book that I had such high hopes for and it just wasn't met. I've heard back and forth things about this series. Some people like it, some people absolutely hate it. I'm basically in the middle. I liked the first book enough. I just didn't have any interest in picking up the second book. It wasn't high on my TBR, and I just did not have any interest in picking up the second book, so I didn't, and I don't think that I will, just because there's so much more other books that I could read, and I just particularly don't want to read the rest of that series, so I won't. The next series that I no longer want to pick up is the Gone series by Michael Grant. I actually did like the first book, I liked the second book, and then it kind of fell off after those 2 books. I find myself not really wanting to pick up any more of those books just because I felt like nothing was getting solved in any of the books. It was interesting, but not interesting enough for me to want to continue reading the series with all the other interesting books they have in the world. That's just not something that I want to read in the future. So the last series that I'm no longer going to be reading is Article 5 by Kristen Simmons. To be honest, I don't even remember what this book was about, and I've read it like maybe 3 years ago, and I just remember being so bored by it. It was a lot of politics, which if you're into that, then you go ahead, you can read that book. It is going to be perfect for you. I'm just not big into laws and politics, at least not reading wise. I just could not get into it. I literally struggled so hard to even finish the first book, and I just was not interested in even picking up the second book. So that is all for today's video. I hope you liked this. If you did, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!